Hey everyone, how are we all doing? Oh my goodness, this is just so last minute. This is my middle name. I wasn't meant to do a live, but I am. Because I thought, why not? I'll come on here and we can just hang out, we can just chat. So today's live stream, we're going to be talking about no contact. I thought this was something that would have been great, a subject that's really important for all of us to remember how no contact is like the best thing that you can do for yourself, okay? So before I go into it, where is everybody from? Where are we from tonight, guys? Where are we from? I can see that you guys are from all over the world. We've got someone, yes, that's right, of the refrain, I am in Greece. As you have noticed, the backdrop is a little bit different. I am in Greece. It's a lot warmer than in the UK. It's freezing over there. We've got someone from Florida. No ideas from Florida, hey. It's so late here, actually. It's like nearly midnight. So we've got from Illinois, near St. Louis, and California. This is where I wish I could be right now. And my dear friend Maria, I've got to do a shout out to you. And Maria from Greece as well. Welcome, welcome. From North Carolina. So guys, today we are talking about no contact with the narcissist. If you guys could like the live, we'd get it out there for more people to join, get the message out there. That would be amazing. We've got people from, I can't say it, Tallahassee, Chicago, Austin. This is amazing. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for making the time to join me here tonight. And we're talking about no contact. Now, you guys know how important no contact actually is. You know, like, it's one of the hardest things to do. I know, because when you're invested in that person, even though they have done something so wrong to you, it goes against principles just to kind of ignore someone. I don't know, like I find it really difficult to ignore someone. Even if they have done something that's bad, that's hurtful to me, and I know for you guys as well, like it's a weird thing, right? It's a weird thing to go, no contact. But you know what? You know what, guys? You have to go no contact. Because this helps you. This helps you to get that time to think. Get that time for you. This is wonderful. No contact, 3 weeks. And I know that the beginning parts of the going no contact are the hardest. Yes, that's right. Interesting, when you go no contact, they try to get back inside. Isn't it funny? Isn't it just the most weirdest thing that they want to get back with you because you have gone silent, because you are ignoring them. And you know why that is, guys? You know why they do that? Is because you take your power back. Yes, my friends, that's why. You take your power back. This is how the principle works. When you are devoting all of your energy, all of your attention and your focus on this person, and you are wishing that they were different, that somehow maybe, you know, they will change, they will realize that they've made a mistake, and you're like, please just change. And you know, they are being awful to you. They are manipulating you. You know, they're telling you lies. And you know how you feel. You know how you're feeling inside. It doesn't make you feel good. And actually, what you're doing is they're taking your power. They're taking your attention and your focus away from yourself. And the reason why they do that is because they feed off that. You know, they feed off that energy, that life force, and it drains you. It makes you feel so tired. It makes you feel like you don't want to do anything. It interrupts your life. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't function. And all the while it's hurting you. not them, you. So the moment that you put a stop to all of this, the moment that you choose yourself and think, there is nothing that I can do to change this person. There is nothing that I could physically change about this person. Because you know what? You know what, guys? It's not your responsibility to save this person. They are who they are, and that's it. Do you know, it's not even a therapist's job to save someone. It's their own. And that's what I think, guys, that's one of the hardest things is when, you know, you really love that person, you really care about them, and you know, you want to help them in some way because you're kind, you're compassionate people. You have to admit defeat because it's either you or them. Either they save themselves or you save yourself. And actually, isn't it your responsibility to live your life, to, you know, save yourself? I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but Amply Todd, mine was smearing and begging me to talk to her, trying to be fake nice at the same time. It was wild. Yeah, I'm sure. So they were talking behind your back and they were trying to be nice to you, to your face. Yeah, typical kind of narcissistic move. Definitely, definitely. So no contact is the way forward. Like, what? You know, why would you do that? Why would they do that? They do it because they were getting supply. Because if they're smearing you, they're talking bad behind your back. They're getting supply, isn't it? It's whether it's positive or negative, they are getting that from you. And so they're being nice to your face. So you think that they have realized, but it's not actually true, is it? Rosie says, I lasted 2 months last time, went back for 1 month. I'm back to 1 week, no contact again, and I hope I can last longer this time. Rosie, you can so do this. You can so do this. And I want you to remember that, you know what, you do go back. You do go back because actually, you know, it's this concept, isn't it? It's like, how can someone be like this? I got to know this person like this. And, you know, at the beginning, it's just so amazing. They tell you that they love you. They tell you that they are your soulmate and that they will do anything for you. And you are like in this, I don't know, in this honeymoon phase and you're loving life and because they are so fixated on you. But we know that this isn't the truth. This is what they do. And in that kind of love bombing phase, that's what they do. And we get to know, we think like that is who they are. That is who they're going to be always. Until it just switches, and it switches all the time. One time it's okay, the next they're manipulating, the next is like catastrophizing the relationship. Yes, so what I would say to you is try your hardest to stay no contact. You know, you've done a week. The beginning part when you go no contact is the hardest. So just keep going. You can do this, all right? You know, people on this live or people in this community, people on this channel, like, you know, there's been so many of us who have gone through this. I completely understand because I was there too. I understand. You can do this. You know, it's about changing or it's about distracting. That's what I would say. It's about distracting your thoughts, doing something that you love. You know, what is it that you like doing? What are your hobbies? I would also say surround yourself with like positive people as well, people that love you, people that care about you. So I would say definitely do that. Of the refrain, I was going to read your comment, but it's gone. Marie says, I'm now a couple of months no contact, sending out love to all of you who are going no contact or just maintaining. Guys, absolutely thank you for that. It's true. You've just got to keep going. It is hard. It's hard. It's like what I said at the beginning of this live. Like, can you imagine just ignoring someone? It's the hardest thing because I can't do it. And I know that when someone is this toxic, someone who is just literally playing with your emotions all the time, every day or, you know, every few days, it's just like, I mean, come on, you don't know where to find yourself. Kay says, 3 years no contact from toxic mother-in-law and daughter combo. Oh my God, bless you. That must have been so hard. My husband is brilliant, and after 2 years of wondering if I could do more fix, I realized I was their issue within them, separate to me. Yeah, this wasn't your thing though, Kay. It wasn't you, it's them. I don't know, like the mother-in-law is, you know, the whole toxic thing. I think that is a thing, especially for women, you know, like with men. So say if they're in a heterosexual relationship, you know, and the mother always tries to sabotage the relationship. It is a thing. It's what is it called? It's like it's the Oedipus complex. You know what Freud talks about? It's the Oedipus complex. So definitely there's a lot of that. So please know you're not alone. Like a lot of people go through that, definitely. You're welcome, Rosie, not a problem at all. Patricia says it's so hard for me to comprehend someone could be so evil. Oh yeah. They are. And they play you. They play you good. Because let's face it, they are good at what they do. And the reason why they are so good at what they do is because, you know, that's how their mind has been constructed. They need that attention from that person, and they will do everything that they can to get that, because that actually is the way that they think, it's the way that they behave, it's the way that they have learned to be in life. And you know, you can't change it. You can't change. You can manage it with medication for sure, but you can't change it. It's to do with the way that their brain was formed as a child. So it's to do with neural pathways, and also people who do have personality disorders obviously have what's the word? Their amygdala hasn't formed correctly, so it's the emotional part of the brain hasn't formed correctly. So neural pathways and the ways that synapses provide information externally, so out in their environments. This is why they have problems perceiving other people's emotions. They have problems interpreting other people and the way that they relate to others. So this is something that you can't change. We don't know enough about the human brain to be able to change that. Medication will manage these behaviors, but you cannot help it. You cannot do anything to help it. You can manage behaviors, definitely. Sarah says, didn't realize how much they occupied the space in my head, lost myself. First time ever dealing with a narcissist, going off became more and more frequent. I think there's a demon in her. Oh yes. Do you know what? I really would love to do a live about that, like about spiritual possession. I need to read a bit more about it. I will do a live, guys. I will do a live about it because I really believe that there's something in it. But I will let you know. I'll let you know when I do it, because I do believe that there is some sort of possession. You know, sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but you know, when you look at their eyes, you know, when they get really angry, or when they're in this rage, their eyes go black. I don't know if any of you have noticed that. And hey, if you are liking this live, please give it a like. Please do. It will help me. It will help me to get this information out there. Sean says, I wouldn't want them to be them for all the tea in China. Yeah, I second that, definitely, definitely. Kane says, I don't think it's correct to say they can't change it. It's very, very hard. Okay, maybe, you know what? It's very, very hard to change it, because if somebody is going to change themselves, particularly someone who has emotional instability, they have to understand, they have to be able to retrospect. So that means that they're going to have to be able to go inward, but also be able to externalize. And can you imagine someone with a personality disorder doing that? Can you imagine that Saying that they can't change takes away responsibility from them. They have a choice. It's not always down to that. I'll be honest with you. It's not always down to that. Because you know, this is what I was saying. It's to do with the formation of neural pathways. This becomes a neurological issue. And when somebody doesn't understand, when somebody hasn't got that awareness, they can't change. And they don't want to change. Why would you want to change when you get all your needs met, when ruining people's lives gets you where you want to be? Why would you want to change? You got what you want. And it's not that it takes the responsibility away from them. I'm not saying that they don't know what they're doing. On a lot of levels, yes, they do. When they manipulate you, when they lie to you, they know what they're doing. Oh, they know. Because when you manipulate someone, you're doing it for an end goal. You want something from that person, and you're going to make sure that you get it. So in that respect, when you say that they can't change or haven't got responsibility, for the manipulation in their lives, they do take responsibility. But the way that they are is caused by trauma in childhood. That wasn't their fault. And if we really look at it, it wasn't their fault. They didn't want to be abused. They didn't want to suffer trauma. So Kay says they have to admit something. Oh, it's gone so quick. Sorry. I was going to read it, but it's gone so quickly and I couldn't read it. Mariah says, why months after discarding the narcissist, going no contact, changing phone number and going to therapy, still curious to learn what they are doing in their life? Well, you know what? We're curious, aren't we? We're curious by nature. And we want to know what people are doing. And that's okay. But as long as you know that whatever you find out, whatever you see is not going to affect you, then okay. But we are naturally curious, and I just want you to know that it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's not because there's you're fixated and you want to know what's happening with them. Don't worry, it's fine. We all need to check up sometimes. Carl says, hi Anushka, could hypnosis therapy make a positive difference? Do you mean, could it make a positive difference for the narcissist or yourself? If it's you that you're thinking of, hypnosis is wonderful. Definitely. It really helps. It's a deep meditative state. I have done hypnosis a few times and it's great. I would recommend it, but definitely go to a practitioner, someone who you trust, someone who you value, and always check wherever you go to any practitioner, make sure that you know their credentials. They need to be qualified because this isn't something that you can just blag, like other professions, so just always do your research for sure. Brian Burns says, so narcissist who did smear campaign on me and everything was screwing around. I don't talk to her anymore, but I stupidly peeped her Instagram and now she's getting married. Oh my God. Brian, I know. We all do it. We all check up on the social media. Not gonna lie. We all do it. We just want to know. We just know. So don't worry. It's one of those things, it's inevitable. They are going to get into other relationships. They are going to have other people. And I think that's where it becomes really hard for us to kind of comprehend, or it becomes really hard for us to manage that information when we find it out. Because it is hurtful, isn't it? It's hurtful when somebody is like that. You yourself are finding it really difficult to move forward. And this person has already moved on and they're getting married. But you know as well as I do that none of this matters, none of this means anything, none of this is real, because you know that relationship is going to be over very soon. They're just being love bombed. HM Norva says, why did they try to make you believe you're the narcissistic one? Well, they'll do that. They'll do that because they'll put the responsibility onto you. That's why they do that. They'll do it because they want you to believe that there's something wrong with you and that you're the one that needs to change. And remember, if there's something wrong with you, then you're the one that is at fault. You're the one that needs to take responsibility and change. That's why they do it. They don't have to. They're never going to take responsibility for it. So it's about blame and making you feel guilty and making you believe that you're the problem. This is why no contact is the best. Guys, if you're liking this live so far, please do give it a like. I'd really appreciate that. Seems that a lot of you have been going through this smear campaign. When they put you down, it's quite hurtful to have other people think that you are the issue, that they are going to believe these lies about you. So what? You know it's not true. You know that what that person is saying about you is not true because you know the truth. And that's what matters. And you know, the people that listen to those lies, and they take the side of the narcissist, are they your friends? Were they people that you could trust? At the end of the day, you'll see who your friends are. You'll see who comes with you to the other side. And that's what you need to be aware of, because having to try and prove yourself just re-triggers you. So it's a kind of like secondary abuse because it's through another person, but it's still the narcissist getting their claws in. Thank you so much. It is lovely here, yes. So cool and thoughtful of you to take the time. Thank you very much, E. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Marty Van Der Zee said, I just loved him, gave him everything, and the smear started anyway. Yes, because it's about devaluing you and putting you down. I know that you loved him, and I know that you gave the best of yourself. But you know what? You know, it's a blessing that he's not with you, and it's a good thing. You now have to just not listen and not check up on what he's doing, on what he's saying, because remember, it's all lies, and it makes you feel powerless. And the thing is, you are more powerful than you think, okay? You are more powerful, because actually, the reason why he left is because you were no longer useful to him. It's not that he loved you back, it's that you were no longer useful, so he had to get rid of you and get someone new because he got bored. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I know that this is the least I can do, but thank you for the great content. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Susan says, I found out he was talking about me behind my back at work because people told me that. Yeah. This is exactly what they do. This is exactly what we do. So look how powerful no contact is. Look how powerful that is, of just removing all communication, removing your energy, your time, and you put it back on yourself. You were going to be worried about what this person, the one that was so abusive, the one that was so manipulative, the one that caused you so much heartache, you are going to be worried about what they're saying to other people? Who cares? Who cares what they're saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say, because anything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. And the people that choose to believe that, because believe it or not, they make it very believable. They make it very, very believable. And they make people believe them. But they're getting sucked into those lies like you once did. So removing yourself from that drama, from that chaos, is the best thing you can do. Or the other option is you stay stuck and you allow it to take that space in your mind. You allow it to take energy and time away from you. No contact, my friends, no contact. But to maintain no contact, you have to do things for yourself. You have to figure out who you are, what you want. Guys, press that like button. Go on, press it, press it. Sambi says, oh, sorry, that just went off the screen. Hannah says, when their energy comes, you have to be so strong in your spirit to push them out. 100%. Oh my goodness, Hannah, you are so right. You do. Because they take what is not theirs. Because you're not willing to give them that energy, they just take it. They steal it from you. Mark says, best liar I have ever met in my life. They are the best liars. I mean, we've got to hand it to them. They are good. They are really good. And you cannot tell. But you know, there comes a point, like in all of our lives that we have experienced, there comes a point where actually, you know, their lies are they just don't work anymore. And I know that's obviously further along, you know, in the relationship, and you realize that the person that you fell in love with is the biggest liar, and they manipulate, and they have an ulterior motive. I think that's one of the hardest things to realize, but you guys know the best way to deal with that is no contact, is not allowing them to be near you, not allowing them any space or time or energy. Definitely. Sean says the only thing they are good at is lying. 100%, definitely. Hannah says, I feel like I'm wrestling with them mostly in my spirit. Hannah, you're not the only one. You're not the only one, because many people that I have worked with have said exactly that. It's like they penetrate your soul and they take, and they make you believe that you're the issue. They make you believe that you're the problem, and that somehow it's your responsibility to save them. Guys, I'm so going to do a live about this soon. Very, very soon. Laurie says the hardest thing to realize is that you weren't loved at all. I know. I know that's really painful, but they don't know how to love. Their love is transactional, so it's about what you can do for them. That's what it's about. It's what you can do for them. And they can't relate to people on that level. This is why they have issues with interpersonal relationships, because they don't know how to bond, and they have an attachment disorder. Guys, I talk about this quite a lot, obviously, in the videos, so I'm not going to go into it, but it's where they can't connect. So they can't connect to themselves. They have disconnected themselves through trauma. Because of childhood adverse experiences, the best way to cope with trauma, or the way that the body copes with trauma, is by disconnection. Because it prevents you from feeling pain. It prevents you from feeling emotional pain. That's why the body disconnects. And so what happens in these types of people, remember, they create this ulterior personality because they try to fit in. Remember, their parents kind of like abandon them, or they don't accept them, as they are. So the child quickly learns that they've got to change who they are. They've got to be there to please their parent or please their caregiver. And that's why they change. That's why they develop this kind of exterior, that they are someone completely different. They become very unstable emotionally. They then look for other people to validate them emotionally. That's why they make it your problem. That's why you're there to save them. So this isn't changed. This is never corrected, because that child understands that they're getting their needs met. They're doing what they need. They're getting what they want. So why change? What's the point of changing? You don't need to change if you're getting everything that you need. There's no point. So that's why they stay the way that they do. And that's why I say that therapy helps to bring awareness, but it doesn't change them. Medication manages the issue. Like I said, the issue is neurological. It's to do with the amygdala, which wasn't formed properly. And for those of you that don't know, the amygdala is the emotional center of the brain. It's actually an almond size, and it's like located. Do you know where your neck begins and the head sits? Kind of like at the back. It's there. Anyway, just key fact there. But this can't be changed. If it's not formed properly, if the neural network isn't wired properly, then this can't be changed. H says, he discarded me twice, and because I let him back into my life, he thinks that I will wait forever. But this time I blocked him. Go on. Well done. 3 months in, he took my love for granted. I feel he will miss me. He will miss your supply for sure, but he won't miss you as a person. And I know that's really harsh to say because he doesn't feel. But I'm really glad that you managed to block him. He'll probably be watching you. He'll probably, maybe online stalking, but he will miss what you provided him, what supply you gave. That's all it is. Because they don't connect. Remember what I was explaining? They don't connect. So they don't see it as something that they will miss. They look for it externally, if that makes sense. Sarah says, I think she needs an exorcism. I think they all do. Anyway, I didn't say that. Liana says, I can't justify them because of their childhood. They know what they're doing. Not always, Liana. It's what I was saying. Like when they manipulate, when they lie to you, then yeah, they know what they're doing. They know. But when you're a child and you suffer this amount of trauma, the way that they have, because honestly, it would have been traumatic for them. It's disconnection, isn't it? And that's what makes their behaviors really strange. Is not knowing who you are. We're talking about someone who cannot connect to themselves. So how are they going to be able to connect to you? How are they going to be able to connect to other people? This is why it's important for you to connect to yourself and not always give it out to other people. Hannah says, I hope you do more lives, Anushka. We love you. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Please, if you are, give it a like. Please, guys. This would be really good. Kay says, once you see the lie, you can't unsee it. Move on, strict, no contact, self-care, follow your passions and heal. Thank you. That's such an important message, Kay. Definitely. Definitely. So what are you guys thinking of no contact? Thank you, Marty. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Melanie says, what type of therapy would you recommend for a narcissist so that self-love can grow? That's a good question. Something that I have actually worked with. Marty, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I would love a tea right now. Thank you. So yeah, going back to what I was saying. So therapy for a narcissist, I would say dialectical behavioral therapy. Yeah, definitely dialectical behavioral therapy. Thank you so much, Yang070. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so dialectical behavioral therapy, that's all about managing emotions, being able to understand emotions. This is all about bringing them to themselves so that they understand how they are responding to certain people, how they are responding to triggers, things like that out there, you know, in the world. So it really helps. I mean, I've worked in this. So not that I haven't actually given that therapy, because when I was practicing, or when I was learning rather, it was still quite early on in my training. So I haven't done that. But I know that when I worked in the private sector, I know that DBT therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, really works with people who have personality disorders. It can help, but it doesn't cure the issue. That's one thing that you have to remember. It helps them to understand their emotions, but it doesn't cure it. There isn't a cure for narcissism. There isn't a cure for personality disorder. It's really sad, and I know that these people ruin a lot of people's lives, but there isn't a cure. We can manage it with medication, but that's it. Sean, that was so funny. Broadmoor will help them. For those of you that don't know what Broadmoor is, it's a prison in the UK, and a lot of quite notorious serial killers, psychopaths have been sent there through history. So that was, Sean, that was really funny. And yeah, thank you. Marty Van Dizzy says only cognitive therapy helps in a very few cases, less than 1% improved. Yeah, that's also very true. I think it's very hard for them to understand cognitively and be able to kind of manage that and understand the way that our thoughts are processed. And this is the issue, guys. This is what I was saying, that this is what is happening. Like, you cannot cure this. You can't unwire or rewire neural pathways, because once they are formed, that's it. You know, when they are being formed, it's in a child who is 7 years and younger, maybe even 12 years and younger, I think, no, yes, 5 to 7, because these are the formative years that Piaget talks about. The work of Piaget, he was a very famous, or really, he worked in the Second World War. Piaget talked about child development, and he talked about the attachment styles of children. And so he talked about all of this. He studied child development. So this is very much about the way that the brain is developed. You know, from the ages of 0 to 7, the child's brain functions at a slower rate to ours, because it kind of acts like a sponge. It's taking in all of that information out there in their environment. They're learning how to be. They're learning about their environment, who they are, who they need to be. So if this isn't formed correctly, and there is trauma in childhood, the neural pathways don't what's the word? The synapses don't fire correctly. And even in adolescence, the brain is still forming until we're 25 years old. Can you believe it? 25 years old, the brain is still forming. We are not cognitively mature until we are 25. But the most important part of our development happens 12 years and below, from 0 to 12. Liana says, what is the best thing to do when you receive a message? Maybe don't answer, ignoring it. Yeah, that would be the best thing. But you've got to ask yourself, can you do that? Can you do that at this time? Because it's hard. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to ignore someone that you care about. So I would say to you, like, if you can't, you will in time. So don't be hard on yourself. Like, there will come a time where it won't matter and you won't care. But you've got to, do you know what? You've got to work yourself to that point, because otherwise it won't work. And you'll feel guilty. You'll feel like a failure because you didn't, stay no contact. And that's what you don't want. You don't need that. So if you can ignore it for as long as you can. And if you need to answer, then answer until one day it just doesn't matter. Because you'll get there, promise. All of us have, so don't worry. Kay says, how can therapy help if they are always lying and blaming and deflecting? Thank you. This is what I've been saying. Thank you. You're right. How can you? They can't introspect. So that's where the issue is because they're deflecting. They're putting the blame. They're externalizing everything. So that's what it is. Arcane says you can rewire your brain. It's just hard to. Okay. If you think that, then that's fine. No worries. HM Anushka, I am dating now. How do we know if we are dating a healthy non-narcissist? I hate to even have to ask this. Oh, bless you. Do you know, this is one of those things when we have all had, narcissists in our lives, it makes us not trust people. And we then think that everybody is narcissistic. We then think that everyone's out there to hurt us, but they're not. So how do you know someone who is versus someone who isn't? Well, you're not going to know by appearance. You're only going to know when you get to know that person. That's why I say all the time, when you are starting to date, just take things slow. Like, take your time. Don't rush this. And one thing that you've got to know, like at the beginning of these kind of toxic relationships, or if someone is narcissistic or has, is quite, what's the word? Toxic, I guess. They will want to rush things. All right. These types of relationships they just go from 0 to 100. Like in the first week, they're already telling you that they love you. The second week, they're moving in. And the third week, you're already getting married. It's obviously not done like that. I'm just being sarcastic, but it's along those lines. Like, that's what happens. They move things really fast because they don't want to lose you. They want you to bond to them, because they want to know that they've got you. That's why they do it. So when they know that they've got you, they then relax into themselves. Then they start to manipulate. Then they start to lie. And they start then to make you feel awful about yourself. That's what they do. And then they start talking to other people. They start cheating. That's just them. So that's how you'll know. I guess that's how you'll know. You've also got to use your intuition as well, because that's our gift. That's why we are the people that we are. That's why we're empathetic. You've got to use your senses to help you. HM says, I wish I had gone no contact a lot sooner. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. You did it in the time that you had to. It's really hard. It's really hard to go no contact with someone. So you did it when you needed to. At least you did it. That's the main thing. Leslie says, going no contact means you have all the control and they have none. That's really good. That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, definitely. That's a really good point, Mark. My narc didn't rush things since she had other supply. It's very true. Not all of them do. But usually, like 80%, the relationship will just be so fast and you will feel so overwhelmed, like you wouldn't even know what has hit you. But you know what? It feels nice to feel wanted. It feels nice that someone wants you so intensely. You know, when they say that they're your soulmate and that you'll stay with them forever. It feels nice to hear that. So, you know, these are kind of like the red flags that you kind of need to look out for, you know, because these individuals play on your emotions. They want that emotional validation from you. That's what makes them happy. Marty says, no contact means you declare them dead. You said goodbye with your heart, no more, never ever. I really like that, Marty. That's so true. You said goodbye with your heart, no more. It's getting your power back, isn't it? And that's why this whole concept is so important. But what if you are someone that can't go no contact? Let's say you have children with this person, or maybe you have assets with this person. What do you do? It's about boundaries. And by boundaries, I mean that you give no emotional information. If you are really enjoying this, guys, if you are enjoying this live, press the like button. So boundaries, okay, boundaries is all about not giving any emotional validation to that person. You're giving no attention whatsoever, because they're going to try and get that from you, because that's how they know where you are in all of this. That's how they know how you feel, so that they can take this information and use it against you. So, for example, what I mean, you've got to treat this as a business deal. When you're in business, there's no emotion. You just tell that person what they need to hear. That's how you deal with it, because there's no other way around it. If you still have to stay in contact with the narcissist because you've got children or you've got assets, it's the only way. And it's hard. It's hard to cut off emotion from someone that, you know, you once cared about. Maybe you have children. It's really hard. But you have to protect yourself. Okay, this is your responsibility. Not anybody else's, but yours. Liana says, let them watch the best version of yourself without them. This is what I say, guys. You've got to rise in your power. You're going to let someone like that take you down? Is that what you're worth? Think about the person that you were before this person came into your life. Who were you? What were you doing? How did you feel? Sometimes what can really help is if you go back in time. You know, maybe when you were still at school, when you were a teenager. Think about maybe the kind of things that you like to do. Maybe like the kind of music helps you to distract you, helps you to get you back there. What hobbies did you do? Do you know what I used to really like doing? I used to like painting. And I remember I did an art GCSE and I got the best mark in the class. And do you know what? I don't even do any of that right now. And I really miss it. And I don't do it. One thing that I do that I really love, that I used to do as a kid, is horse riding. But again, I don't do it nearly as much as I want to. I'd love to do it every single day. But I can't. But that's okay. That's okay. I do what I can. And that's what I mean. Like, do what makes you really happy. For me, I really like taking my dog out to the woods, Alfie. We go to the woods and he runs off and I don't know where he is, but he chases squirrels, especially now this time of year. Or, you know, horse riding. I feel so happy when I'm on a horse. You know, when you go on hacks, again, into the woods and the fields. So these are the things that make me happy. What things make you happy? What do you do for yourself? Another thing is I like dancing, like to music, obviously, when no one's watching. Or I sing in the car because nobody's there with me and I have a bad voice, I can't sing. So that's what makes me happy. You know, sometimes I have a party in the car and that always helps me to feel better. What do you like doing? Who were you? This is about connecting back to your inner child. And it's your inner child that is in pain. And that's what you need to protect. And also, once you connect to your inner child and you are connected or at one, then you feel more powerful. And then you know that you can combat anything. You can do anything because you feel embodied. And I think that's the key here, is to feel embodied. Because then you are you. And you stand in your own power. It's like I said, you're going to let this person take you down. I mean, who the hell are they anyway? Are they really that important? Are they really worth it? No. Booth Guy says, being alone in nature and spending time with God are my favorite. Perfect. That's so important. At least you know. And this is what I mean. This is about identifying things that make you happy. You know, start thinking about yourself a little bit more. Do what makes you happy. Stand up for yourself. If you don't do it, who's going to do it for you? No one. It's your responsibility. Carol, welcome. I'm really happy to hear that you are fully recovered after 25 years married. If I can do it, so can everyone else. Living my best life now. Do you know what, Carol? I am so happy to hear that, and I'm so glad that you joined me on the live. I'm so happy. It's been a few years since I spoke with you last, hasn't it? But look at you now. See, look, if Carol can do it, we all can do it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you've got to stand in your own power because you've got it. Each and every one of you have got it. You must never allow anyone else to take over, to give them that, I don't know, like that power over you. They're not even important. You're important. You were, weren't you, Eric? I do remember. I was with you a couple of summers ago. Haha, you could lead armies, Anushka. Strong. Thank you very much. Thank you. Kay says, love weight training, music, walking, cooking. See, this is it. Kay, see, you're connecting to yourself. You know what it is that you like. Cherie says, walking my dog brings me peace. It does, doesn't it? Because it is so nice. Like you go to, I don't know where you walk the dog, but when I go to the woods, it's nature, isn't it? I love it. It just really calms, I don't know, really calms my nervous system if I'm stressed or I'm feeling anxious. Definitely. Someone said ballroom dancing lessons. Oh my God, go on. I don't think I could do that. It's the coordination. I think I would trip. Spending time with family and getting real love has made such a difference. It's, that is what's most important because it's love. And that's what we're all looking for. That's what we all want. We all want to be loved. We all want to feel accepted. We all want to feel important and thought about. So that's why it's important to get it from the people that you know you can trust. The people that have got your back, you know, the people that are there for you. you've got to, you know what, you have to live the life that you want, okay, the way that you want. Because when someone else is controlling you, whether that's, emotionally or psychologically, you don't feel yourself. You don't feel like you are actually living your own life because somebody else has control over you. Can you hear what I'm saying? Like, someone else has control over you. It is not their responsibility or their right. So why are you going to be giving it away? Even with your thoughts, even when you spend time thinking about them, or, when you're checking up on their social media, like, what are they doing? Oh, have they, what could they be doing? So what? Who cares what they're doing? They're toxic. Did they make your life happy? You really want to know what they're doing? You're placing importance on something that has none. So you got to take that power back, that attention, that focus back on yourself. And this is why I'm saying, do things that you like, do things that make you happy. That is you thinking about yourself, and that's you, investing and putting that time and energy and effort on you, because you deserve it. If not you, then who? So it's kind of like you've got to make this promise to yourself. It's either you or them. Do you think motherly love can cure an adult NPD? No, I don't. Because as an adult NPD, those behaviors, those thought patterns are already established. So no. This is something that they probably have been looking for, is to feel accepted by their parent or their parents. But that probably would have helped in childhood, not so much adulthood, because adulthood, they're already developed and they're already mature. So no, I don't think so. Kay says, what are they doing? What they're doing is seeking validation elsewhere and draining someone else. No thanks. Yeah, they are. That's so cool. You used to paint too. That's amazing. And you used to go horse riding. That's so cool. See, they're the best, aren't they? They're the best. So there's so many elements to no contact. There's so much that, you need to think about. And it all stems from you. It all stems from that foundation that is you. And it all is about what decision you make for yourself. Because it really is about what you do for yourself. I can't do it for you. I wish I could. You'd all be healed. But I can't. So this is really about you. Guys, if you're enjoying this live, please, please just press the like button. Booth guy, you need to do horse riding. It is so much fun. It's so much fun. Do you know, the first time I ever went horse riding was, I was really young. I think I must have been about 10 or 11 at my cousin's. And he wasn't very nice to me because he put me on top of the horse and he slapped the horse's bum and the horse just sped off. And I didn't know what you had to do. I don't know, like, how you had to hold the reins. Anyway, so I kind of fell off. I didn't fall off, but I ended up holding on to the horse's neck, and I'm like hanging there because I was so scared. And the horse obviously eventually stopped galloping, and I got off. I remember I took my Wellington boot off and I threw it at my cousin. He was older than me, but that didn't put me off. And that's what I mean. If you really enjoy something, you really like something, just keep doing it. Don't let things put you off. Just get back on the horse and try. That's what you got to do. Why do these narcissists stalk? Because they're interested in what you do. They need to know that they are doing better than you. They need to know that you are not winning. And they also need to know when they can come back. That's why they do it. They need to know that they've got more power over you. And then they come back and they know that you feel good. So they just try and take that from you. Booth Guy says, remember, if you really value yourself, you'll always make sure that your self-care and needs are met before anyone else. That is a valid point, definitely. So guys, as you know, I wasn't actually going to do the live today. I just haven't felt like doing work. I've just been chilled, actually. But I am here. This was so last minute. I hope that it's helped. I hope that it's given you more understanding into how important no contact actually is. Do you know, I will be back next week. I will do a longer live. If you guys have any last minute questions, because I am going to sign off really soon. So if you have any questions, also please do press the like button. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back next week. Please do press the like button on the live. It will really help. I will keep you guys updated when I will be going live next week, probably Wednesday, but don't quote me to that. Guys, thank you so much for joining me at the last minute. Also, tell me on the comments section and underneath what subject you would want me to talk about next week. What is something that is really important for you? Because this will really help me. I'm going to read all the comments. So if there's anything that you feel that would really help you, please put it in the comments section. Press the like button. And I'll be back next week. Sean, I'm doing the same. Absolutely. So guys, thank you so much for watching and spending your wonderful time with me. And I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye.